What's going on, guys? Half Click Up here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the first ever episode of Felicity Friday. Yep, so here we are a week later from picking up old Felicity here, our 2010 R1, and I put just about 200 miles on her. 4 more miles will mark 200, and man, it's been a trip. I will say it has been a trip. And I'll tell you, the biggest adaptation to this motorcycle is clutch control, right? So the thing has so much torque is what it is, right? It's got so much torque that it demands a lot more attention to the clutch. You got to give it enough oomph, right? Enough throttle to get up and go along with the feathering of the clutch. It doesn't take much extra, but it's a lot more effort than it took to operate Evelyn, my 2009 FZ6R. Of course, that bike was like 1/4 of the horsepower and torque that this machine has, but you know, it is what it is. And so that's what I've learned most about this motorcycle. I have also learned that it is extraordinarily fast. It's almost, well, it is too fast. It's indeed indeed, Felicity is too fast. Boy, this guy got on the binders out of nowhere, didn't he? Holy mess. So anyways, yeah, she's fast. It never feels like you're speeding, even though you always are. Never fails. But it is an absolute blast, you guys. I really, okay, so I recommend it, but I don't recommend it if you're not ready. I can't stress that enough. You know, does it take 10 years on a 600 before you're ready? No, it doesn't. It just took me that long to get off my butt and pull the trigger to upgrade to something bigger and better and faster and stronger and more powerful and more fun. So here we are, and as big and bad and powerful and as much potential as the bike has, you can see here it's as tame as you want it to be, man. You can cruise on this bike just like you can anything else, of course, and it does it quite well. It's very comfortable cruising. And so, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw a hint, a little bit of a sneak peek as to what we have coming down the pike for our first mods. We have an engine case protector set. I guess they function as sliders from GB Racing. We have some Ozito LED bulbs go in, because one of the first things I noticed actually on the ride home when I picked this bike up was the fact that the headlights are very yellow. Very dim kind of lights, even though they're projectors. I wasn't impressed. You know, Evelyn had an LED light, and the output was so much better than factory halogen. It's going to be no difference with this bike, and so, or no different as on this bike. So I'm going to pop some LED bulbs in there. I've got some, what I believe you call Domino. I called them Domino in the last video, and I looked back and I'm like, wait a minute, that company's Italian. I'll bet it's Domino. So we'll just say it's called Domino. I got some Domino grips to put on, and I got to thinking about it. You know, these are open-end grips actually, and yeah, the R1 came with factory bar ends, which are obviously gone, and so I ordered today some bar end sliders from Womet Tech. Yeah, that's right. Womet Tech is the name of that company. So those will be in some point in the future. But I'll probably go ahead and pop the Domino grips on anyways, and just put these bar ends back on for the time being. But yeah, guys, it doesn't take long to get used to all her mannerisms. You know, the grabby throttle in first gear at low RPMs, where, you know, the fueling is either on or off. You just have to have more throttle and more clutch control. Again, that's the trick, and you can get her under control quite easily. So I've gotten used to all the little nuances, you know what I mean? All the little nuances are, for the most part, under control, and I can ride her just as well as I could ride Evelyn, as long as I keep in mind I have to respect her. So this road, FM4, I took her out before she was illegal because I couldn't help myself because of who I am as a person, and I left the back entrance to my neighborhood, which opens up to a bunch of twisties, right? And I came out of one of those curves with in third gear, and I wrapped it out and shifted into fourth. No, I'm sorry, I was in second, wrapped it out, I think. I don't quite recall. Anyways, my point is, I wrapped it out, shifted gears, and looked down, and I was doing a buck 33 in a 60 mile an hour zone. And I came to the realization real quick as to what it is I'm dealing with here. And what it is an overly capable machine that will surprise you. And something tells me that this bike will never cease to surprise me. That's a fact. Now look, another thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick is the importance of tire pressure. I'm going to cut to the chase here. So I rode this bike. I didn't mention anything on the first ride video, but anything that had to do with slow speed, I was confused as to the bike's handling. The steering was very notchy, and it didn't feel right at all. And this bike is in mint condition, so it didn't immediately occur to me what the problem was. Hang on, is this my turn? This is my turn. Okay. Anyways, it didn't immediately occur to me what the problem was, and I got a wild hair to check the tire pressures, and guess what? The front and rear were both in the low 20s. Now the scary part about that is that I rode an hour and 45 minutes all the way from Waco up here to Godley, just south of Fort Worth, with 23 psi in the front tire, and I took her out on that twisty back there. Matter of fact, it was she doesn't like bumpy roads either, guys. Back there, right before we turned, is where I hung a left coming out of this road and hit those twisties. And so, anyways, I was doing a buck 33 with 23 psi in the front tire, and it was like 24, 25 in the rear. So yeah, tire pressure, boys. Keep on top of your tire pressures. Needless to say, she's up to factory spec pressures now, and the front end feels awesome. She's nice and flickable like she's supposed to be. She doesn't feel funny anymore, and there's no more confusion there. Yeah, so she doesn't like these backcountry bumpy roads very much. It's barely tolerable, but it's it's tolerable. Yeah, Evelyn took it a little bit better. A little bit better. But anyways, guys, I am extraordinarily happy with this machine. It is just a riot. Should have done it a lot sooner, but things have to just fall into place, you know what I mean? Now, by the way, I apologize for not having a B camera angle. I actually brought my B camera with me, but in my effort to get out of the house this morning, I did not grab my mount, which I did this now. It's the same Ulanzi mount that I had on Evelyn, and I discovered that it clamps quite nicely to the mirror, which is not going to do us any good with mirror block-offs. And so for track day purposes, I did find a set of mirror block-offs that have an integrated GoPro mount. The only thing is that it doesn't mount very high, and so it would be useless for pointing back at us. So yeah, I will have a B camera in the future. It's a very bulky mount though. It's not something that I want to ride around with it on the mirror all the time. So it'll only be for Felicity Fridays, I guess. And by the way, Felicity Friday. That's right. Good old Felicity. So what do you guys think about that? It's got a flow. It's got a flow kind of like Fizzer Friday. I carefully selected that, right? Everything is a calculated decision, and I carefully selected the name Felicity because it flows, starts with an F, and it's elegant, like Evelyn. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Felicity. Yeah, it works. It works. My wife likes to call her Fifi, so so you guys feel free to call her Fifi. It's acceptable. Oh, I also got a new set of rear spools. There's nothing wrong with the one. Fight the bumps, try and speak. There's nothing wrong with the ones that are on the bike. They're red, anodized. But I found these ones on the old Amazon that say YZF around them, and you get to pick your own little accent color, which of course I chose red, so they'll be pretty. Also got a new rear stand. Got that speed metal one from Revzilla with retractable handle, because it does the spools. See there? You see how smooth it is when you bring the RPMs up? You don't fight it. It's the little things you learn, man. Yeah. Anyways, of course my plan was to turn on to FM4 back there and just rip through the gears as a proper intro to the video, but unfortunately we had traffic in front of us, the same dually that decided to get on the binders at the last second. So interestingly, you see she's running at 167 degrees. She runs cooler than Evelyn did going down the road, but she runs hotter sitting in traffic and at slow speed stuff. It's interesting. Ugh, gosh dang. All right. Here is home. Yeah, see? Gentle throttle control, a little bit of clutch feathering. She's good. Whew, goodness. It's getting warm, boys. Getting warm. Check it out, man. They're building houses left and right. They will eventually run out of lots in this first phase, and they're supposed to start the second phase. But yeah, there's another one. They go up kind of quick too. What do you guys think about that Yoshi note? It's decent, right? Never gets old, man. It never will get old. There ain't no way. And by the way, I did discover that she does have a Power Commander 5 installed, and so I have a cable on the way. Out of all the freaking rat's nests of cables I have at home, I didn't have one with that unusual big micro USB connector, the one that is like for digital cameras and stuff. So I had to order one of those, and then we'll hook onto her. Maybe that'll be a video. We'll hook onto her and figure out what map she's running. I noticed on DynoJet's website that they have two different maps for the Yoshi exhaust. I don't remember the difference between the two. Maybe one is for with mid-pipe, one's for without. I don't know. But she still has her mid-pipe, by the way. So she still has a cat. So she's got that unique smell that is not like raw fuel. You know what I mean? So maybe that's an upgrade for the future. Go with an aftermarket mid-pipe. Yet to be determined. Yet to be determined. And by the way, I no longer struggle finding neutral, even sitting at a standstill, because come to find out, I wasn't depressing the clutch all the way. I know that sounds silly, but with Evelyn, 3/4 pull on the clutch and neutral would be there for the most part. This bike likes it when you're sitting still for it to be completely pulled in all the way to the bar or to the grip there. So, but yeah, man. The last time I sat here, right here in this position, just like this, I was looking at the B camera, and I was like,
you know, I'll catch you on the next one with whatever we end up on, you know. And at the time, I was completely convinced that was going to be an R6, but no. Felicity is no R6. She is not. But guys, hope you enjoyed the content. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Our subscriber count has gone way up. That first ride, taking Felicity home, has almost 1,000 views. In fact, it might have 1,000 views by the time you guys watch this video. I don't know. It hit the algorithm. I picked up 10 or 12 subscribers in 2 days, you know. So I've already downloaded the R1 factory service manual. My claim to fame with the Fizzer was the fact that I would follow the factory service manual, and so everything maintenance wise was always done methodically, and you know, I'll go ahead and brag a little bit, perfectly, because you know the manual doesn't lie. And so I've got the manual downloaded for this, discovered that it calls for you to remove the radiator to get to the spark plugs, which is asinine, right? God almighty, could you imagine? And then I looked up in the R1 forums and come to find out the guys are getting away with just, you know, popping the tank back like you would expect. But it's still a challenge with the radiator in place, but it can be done. So I don't know. We will see, because she could use a coolant flush. I don't know. So if we're in her guts already at the time when we get ready, we probably might as well pull the radiator and swap the fluid over as well. So yet to be seen, guys. I don't know. Our friends at Verve Viper have a new set of accessories on the way for me to review, and I'm pretty sure one of those is going to be a stem mount, so we will have a means to mount our phone here shortly. But yeah, man, exciting. So maybe sometime this weekend we'll put the new rear spools on, the grips, the LED bulbs. I'm not sure if these are all going to be separate videos for the new tutorial series. May as well be. You know, that's what I always did with Evelyn. Every little mod and maintenance feature was its own video, so that people can search and find everything accordingly. And so maybe that's going to be the plan here again. But man, it's weird not having a B camera, guys. I'm used to looking at you guys. There you are, right there. There you are. So anyways, yeah, that's all I got, guys. If you've recently found me through an R1 search, welcome. And in fact, you should probably be welcoming me, because I'm brand new to the R1. But either way, neither here nor there. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Happy to have you. Welcome aboard Team HCU Chapter 2. As always, guys, this has been me, and that's been you. It's Half Click Up. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Plenty of content to come on our R1. Peace and goodbye.